Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. We got a bunch of Thursday Night Football about to start in like 5 minutes, so I'm going to rip through this video right here. This is a Friday night college football game. Syracuse, Virginia. Let's dive in.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Virginia on the road at Syracuse here. The line opens up Syracuse laying 9.5 points at home, and everyone's on the orange. 94% of the money on Syracuse as of Monday morning. Books definitely react to the Syracuse money line moves from 9.5 up to 10. And with a key number like 10, I expected to see some Virginia money coming in. Not at all. All the action's still on Syracuse. Everyone's on Syracuse. I think we're still sitting at 88, 89% of the money on Syracuse. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Syracuse minus 31 and change. So now we know why the public's on Syracuse, because the numbers are saying bet Syracuse heavy. All right, let's run through a quick breakdown here, and we'll start with 3-0 undefeated Syracuse, man. I mean, truth be told, I think they should have lost last week to Purdue, as most of you probably agree with, but I'm not trying to take anything away from them. All the props in the world to Garrett Schrader and that Syracuse offense. I don't know the wide receiver's name that made the catch. That was miraculous. Awesome football game to watch. Now, something we did see last week, we saw this Syracuse offense finally come back down to earth a little bit. It's almost seemed a little too good to be true for the first 2 weeks of the season. Last week, yeah, they lit up the fourth quarter for 22 points, but they had just 10 points entering the fourth quarter, and this is against the Purdue defense that's shaky at best. Now, as far as the Syracuse defense, I kind of feel the opposite. Like, yeah, the defense did allow 20 points in the fourth quarter in a wild-ass game, but they held Purdue to 9 points through 3 quarters themselves, which is hard to do. I don't think the public has really grasped and really seen how explosive this Purdue offense can be, for real. I don't care that the Boilermakers scored 29 points on Syracuse. I'm calling that game at Purdue a W for the Syracuse defense. I thought they played well. So yeah, safe to say I'm pretty big on Syracuse right now. I think the fans have every right to be hyped as hell with their undefeated start. Garrett Schrader looks great. Offense looks great. Defense looks great. So entering this game against Virginia, is there anything the Orange should be worried about? And the answer is probably not. As far as losing this game, at least, I really don't think there's much to worry about. This Virginia team, way different than what I was expecting, and I'll get to that in a second. But that game against Illinois, they lost 24-3. I think that's pretty on point with how I feel about the Virginia program so far. Remember, Tony Elliott didn't recruit Brennan Armstrong. He got the head coaching job, and Brennan Armstrong was already there at quarterback. I'm not saying he's disappointed to have Brennan Armstrong playing quarterback, but I think he probably prefers a quarterback with a little more mobility. This is not his team. He just took over this job. You know how college football works. And this Virginia offense is completely different. Do you know the Virginia Cavaliers offense last year averaged 35 points a game? I think it was over 35 points a game, to be honest. They haven't hit 35 points once this whole season yet. All 3 games have not hit 35. They just played a home game against Old Dominion where they won 16-14. A home game against Old Dominion. Now, to be fair, Old Dominion is not nearly as bad as they usually are. Old Dominion is actually a pretty solid program this year. The Virginia Cavaliers, despite returning Brennan Armstrong at quarterback, they're just 84th in the country in returning production from last season. Also with a brand new coach, new system. It's really no secret why the offense just hasn't been the same. Now, I just gave you all the reasons why Syracuse should win this football game. As of this point in the video, you should be thinking Syracuse is the bet. But you notice there's one aspect I didn't mention yet. Hold up. The Virginia Cavaliers can play defense now. This was not the case last year. Trust me, Virginia played 0 defense last year. New head coach, new DC. All of a sudden, the Virginia Cavaliers can play some defense. I mean, even in the game they lost, they only let up 24 points to Illinois. And to be honest, I'm really loving the way this Virginia program is heading. I'm loving this new regime of Virginia football. I'm going to give you a few of the scores from Virginia's schedule last year. Ready for this? This is from last season. 59-39. 66-49, 48-40. That's the kind of year Virginia had last year. Want to know the 3 scores of their 3 games this year? 34-17, 24-3, 16-14. Yeah, this is a new regime of Virginia football to the fullest. And one last concern I have about Syracuse, we haven't seen Garrett Schrader or really this Syracuse offense at all. make a big mistake yet. Do you know Syracuse has 0 turnovers on the year? They haven't turned the ball over once. Do you honestly think that's going to keep up? I mean, eventually they're going to turn the ball over. Eventually they're going to start making some mistakes, and this might be the perfect spot for it. 3-0 at home. Stadium's going to be rocking, laying double-digit points. Fans are expecting a blowout. I think it's time for some Syracuse mistakes, just saying. So I'm doing it. I'm fading the entire world here. I'm on the Cavs. Give me Virginia plus 10. I'm on UVA. If anything changes with this pick, I will let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the final tickets I do, which is bet of the day, underdogs of the day, top 7 bets, and the parlays of the day, if you're interested in that stuff, make sure you go to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. All right, how about a college football Friday night to follow up a badass Thursday night full of football? I'm going to head into the other room and start editing now because they're about to kick off. Let's have a good night tonight. Let's have a good night Friday night. Let's have a good weekend. Hit me up on Twitter if you need me.